We talk about the deep state. We talk about the globalists.
Inflation versus deflation. Well, I mean,
You're at Mar-a-Lago.
I'm baffled that this isn't front page news.
Do you guys support a specific political party, or do you dislike both of them?
Oh, it worked like a charm on you guys.
Let's go, Brandon.
What's up, everybody? Man, a lot to talk about today. It's insane. We got Humberto in the house. It's been a while. He's been missing. We found him. What's up, Humberto?
An uninstalled Call of Duty. So I'm here now.
Oh, so you're here because you ran out of things to do. All right. Well, we'll take it. We'll take it. So we got a federal witness comes out today and claims that allegedly Josh Shapiro, the Pennsylvania governor, had something to do. If not, like, this person goes to the degree to say that he ordered the hit on Trump when he was in Butler, Pennsylvania. So kind of wild. I don't know if I'm all the way there on it. At the very least, I think maybe he had like some people look the other way. We'll talk about that. What else? These pastors, like they're out here saying crazy stuff. One of them called for violence today against Elon Musk, and we got Mitch McConnell was just spotted like in a wheelchair with like all busted up. Like it's on.
Well, really hurt you. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we got to ask the question: like, is he still functional? Is he like just a corpse? Because he's not really voting the way we want him to vote. So if he's not all there, then we got to take care of that.
Easy fall.
I mean, I don't even believe the videos anymore because like every time he's reported to have fallen, they show videos of him from like 10 years ago when he fell. So I don't know what's true. Did he fall again for real?
Yeah, he did fall really hard. But I feel bad. He's an elderly gentleman that really hurt.
You know what would make me feel less bad though if he wasn't a sellout. We're still in the first 2 minutes. I almost went hard right there.
Yeah.
Like if he wasn't like a complete sellout and detriment, like fake Republican that's been just like, he's literally like been put there. Like I was going to use like the CUCK word because I called them that party. I won't use it in the first 8 minutes because then we'll get limited monetization. But that's what he's been like. He's like been there to like fake put up a fight and then just always end up losing. And then not only that, but now that like his side's finally in the majority, he has the audacity to vote against Pete Hegseth. Like, are you kidding me?
That was so strange, Brandon. I think we should save this for after the 8 minutes. They come to completion.
So we can really let it rip.
We don't have any good words on it.
I know we're being constrained too much. But so here, I'll pull up this article from the Josh Shapiro thing, and then I'll give some reasons why I think there might be something to this. Because I think like Josh Shapiro gives off like kind of like psychopath vibes.
Those are some heavy accusations, Brandon.
They are. I mean, I'm not making them.
I read this earlier today, and this is not a joke.
No, it's an official government document. So I mean, got it from the Herald. It says headline: Federal whistleblower claims Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro ordered Trump assassination. So federal whistleblowers come forward with allegations that Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro was involved in the July 13th assassination attempt on Trump. The whistleblower identified as, oh boy, Hadassah Feinberg, a former Pennsylvania State Police employee, filed a criminal complaint February 7th, 2025, detailing claims that Shapiro conspired with the other officials to orchestrate the attack as part of a political scheme. So, and then you got, this is like the most legit looking thing. So this is from District Attorney Richard Golddinger. And I am in receipt of your private criminal complaint, which you have filed against Governor Josh Shapiro for his alleged involvement in the attempted homicide of former President Trump, July 13, 2024, Butler, Pennsylvania. Please be advised there are multiple investigations currently being conducted by various government agencies. Due to these pending investigations, I'm disapproving your private criminal complaints. Okay, so they got rejected. Okay, but I mean, Trump came out and said the other day that they're going to like declassify everything that has to do with this. I mean, we should be able to find some pretty crazy stuff about this, but I mean,
phew, what a year, Brendan.
Yeah. What a news cycle. I mean, like, I feel like I have to start doing 2 shows a day, but, so just based off what we know about this guy, which isn't a lot. I mean, what do we know? We know that he has this like weird thing hanging over his head where, what is it? The lady who got stabbed 20 times and
school teacher.
Yeah, ruled a suicide.
Feinberg.
Greenberg.
Greenberg.
Another Feinberg was the accuser of that he was the the one who ordered the hit.
I don't know, Brendan. I don't see last names.
No, yeah, just like you got the wrong Berg. So this is the family of the victim. So Ellen Greenberg's family, private detective blast Governor Shapiro should be kicked from office. So this is how he Rob did a pretty good job outlining this. Like,
that was great.
Yeah. So I mean, you were on that episode, right?
Yeah.
Do you have it like fresh in your head to any degree, like how this went down?
All right. So basically, this lady,
it
was real suicide in the beginning. All right. This lady stabbed herself in the.
Why is that funny?
No, I'm sorry, but things are so Brandon. I'm sorry to everyone in the audience, but like sometimes like reality is weirder than fiction, and it just because she managed to stab herself in the back 28 times.
There was a great great is an unfortunate word to use. There was a very like necessary graphic, like a picture that shows like where she actually got stabbed, and like she would have had to like go like this a bunch of times, like all over the back.
20 stabs in the back, and then we probably don't want to show it before the 8 minutes. She stabbed herself in both sides of the body, like you always have a dominant hand.
Yeah.
So you will tend to stab yourself more on one side than the other. And so basically it's this story. He went downstairs to the gym. All right.
The man who was with the person who got stabbed.
Yeah.
Right.
He went downstairs to the gym. He did a 30-minute workout.
Right.
And within the 30 minutes, he came back and she was,
stabbed up. Okay.
Is that a term?
We're making it one.
Before calling the police, they called his lawyer that worked directly with Shapiro.
Wasn't this guy connected with Shapiro somehow in terms of like they were family friends or something?
Yeah, they were all connected.
Oh, okay. Tight little unit there.
I think they actually went to the same school, Brandon. So all of this is allegedly,
right?
Yes,
of course.
And then he called his brother and his cousin. And they came in and they took her laptop and her phone.
Wow.
And then they gave it back for the criminal investigation. All this allegedly again. But super, super shady.
Yeah. So this story comes out like right after Harris got the tap to be the nominee, and like right in the timeline of when she was contemplating who to pick. And it kind of took him out of the race, right?
That is a great point. I don't know if you have the video prepped, but the one where they announce, they announced Shapiro as a running mate for Kamala Harris, and the video got leaked by the social media person. I think she was the mayor of I think she was the mayor, and the video was them supporting Shapiro as a running mate for Kamala Harris. And if you really think about it, Brandon, if you really think about it, like even though this guy is I don't know, you know what it is, but he's very competent. Yeah, like he's way more competent than Tim Walz. Like he would have been a much better running mate than Tim Walz. That's for sure. Yeah. And they pulled the support. They had the video. Everyone saw it, and from one day to the next, they denied everything.
Oh, here's the video, I think. Let's see. This one.
I'm here at Central PA Pride, and I want to say to everybody, happy Pride.
Oh, just him doing the pride.
Just him.
Some virtue signaling.
Some good old virtue. So no, the video is actually kind of weird, and it got leaked supposedly. But I think they just released it, and then someone didn't like this guy Shapiro, and then they started bringing to light what really happened. I think it might be that one. You passed it.
Which one? This one?
Yeah. That's it.
I'm Mayor Sherelle Parker, here with leaders from across our region. Kamala Harris is on the road to victory.
That's sus.
The road goes through Pennsylvania.
And in Pennsylvania, we're united behind her. The woman that's tough and can lead.
Are we ready to fight for it?
She is the right person at the right.
The funny thing is that like you have to grab like the best clip of her sounding the best, and she didn't even sound that good there.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, what did he just say?
What a terrible candidate. Like anyone that didn't think that she was going to lose, you got something else coming, buddy.
Like this is her at her best, right?
Are we ready to fight for it?
Are we ready to fight for it?
All right. So the whole deal, this is June 28th last year. This video went out on social media, and then
August 2nd.
August 2nd? No, but this post is older than that one because it took them a minute to like pick up the video.
Okay.
And then this weird murder implications, they started making the rounds, and we never heard from Shapiro at the Kamala campaign at all. Weird. I don't know.
Real quiet. Yeah, so he's like, at the very least, he's a weird dude, because I mean, there was also this thing that was kind of creepy where he's just like gleefully signing missiles. You know, so he's got, you call it little psycho tendencies. But so, I mean, at the very least, I think maybe you could say, all right, the police did some weird things there too. Like both the Secret Service in preparation for that and the police in preparation for that, like they were both acting strange. So like, it was on two different fronts that there was like what appeared to be a stand down.
Can we dwell on the missile signing?
We could dwell on it. Yeah.
I mean, if you're really against someone or something or a cause, you go enlist. All right.
Yeah.
How cowardly. Not even my worst enemies, Brandon. Not even my worst enemies. I will go sign a missile.
It's a weird thing to do.
You never know what a missile is gonna hit. Like he did this, Nikki Haley did this. Like, if you're not gonna have an active role in fighting them, like signing the missiles, just so performative, Brandon.
Yeah.
Like, I find it disgusting. I don't think, having to throw a missile at someone is something we should celebrate and sign it. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Brandon?
No, I think it's bizarre. I think it's like a psychopathic tendency. And I think you could gain a lot from just looking in the eyes of somebody. So I don't know, when you look in the eyes of this guy, do you see the capability to like sign off on Trump's assassination? So I'll pull up the eyes again. Are these psychopath eyes?
Oh yeah,
like that's the killer in the movie.
They taught him how to smile like that.
Yeah,
and he went to the wrong class.
Right, I think him and Newsom both went to what is it? Empathy school.
Empathy school. It's not a joke. Now, Brandon. I mean, even though I don't like the guy, I've been following this story about the whole murder trial thing.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all. Those are some pretty heavy accusations, Brandon.
They are.
They're very, very heavy, and I'm worried about this because if a normal guy or the Herald can source some evidence, is Trump's government trying to play it down?
Well, they didn't cite any evidence. They just came out and said it. So I guess we gotta be fair and say that there's no evidence to support this aside from the fact that local law enforcement did uncharacteristic things that day.
All right, so that's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we got. So we'll keep you posted with this. I mean, it comes out the same week that Trump announced that they're going to reveal everything about it. They're going to dig into it. So, I mean, I'm excited for that. I'm super curious. We know like less than nothing about it. We have more questions than we had pretty much day one. Like we know the kid, like his house was pretty much like cleaned completely. That
they
no
cleaned
silverware.
and raided everything. Remember the next day after this happened, they were hosing down the roof where he was at.
Yeah. And they cremated his body
within 48 hours. Very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
And when they saw his parents at the store, he was with some guy who had a mask on, like a COVID mask on, and a hood on, and also was wearing gloves. You remember that?
Yeah. But
so that's weird.
Because nothing's been said since Trump took office. I mean, it's been what, 20 days?
Yeah.
20 days. Nothing's been said. Do you think this is gonna be something that they're gonna talk about?
Yeah, definitely.
When?
Trump?
First year, second year.
Oh, I think within another week or two, we're gonna make some progress on knowing what happened. Because they have, I mean, I think maybe like right after Kash Patel gets in office, because I think that's maybe the thing holding it up.
If he gets in office.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads to our next story that Mitch McConnell doesn't seem to be doing so well. So, and the reason this is significant is because if he didn't vote for Pete Hegseth, I don't imagine that he would vote for Kash Patel. But if Mitch McConnell, or did I say Mitch McConnell? Yeah. If Mitch McConnell's not doing so well, then I mean, like, you got to vacate a seat and put somebody new in there. Just like this video comes out.
How are you feeling, Leader McConnell?
It's not looking too good.
Oh, get him out. Get him out.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Like we got.
How are you feeling, Leader McConnell?
He can't even get on the look at him. No, come on, Brandon. Get him out.
Yeah. Like
Get him out.
Looks like he's in a nursing home. Like they're literally fully picking him up and putting him in there.
I feel just like if I would Biden, Brandon. He's a terrible, 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 terrible person. But at the same time, I'm a human, and I don't think we should treat elderly people like this.
Well, dude, do you remember what Dianne Feinstein looked like when she died?
Oh yeah,
like she was fossilized.
Brandon, she wasn't in voting.
Well, that's what I mean. That's like the dangerous thing about this. Like once you get to the state, and I even wondered about this with Fetterman when he was like, I mean that was crazy too. Like remember how I felt bad for him when he was on that stage and he's like, I think that we should frack because I've always believed in fracking and fracking is good and I've never been against fracking. And like he's reading off the screen, it's like, wow, like this guy is not there cognitively. And it's like, so like when you have a senator that like, you know, like it's like, I mean, the Congress is important too with the 435 votes, but the Senate like
different.
Yeah, I mean, like each vote carries more weight in the Senate. Like when you're 1 out of 100 votes, like, you know, you're like, it's a crucial thing. And if your mind isn't there, like then who's casting the vote for you? Like did McConnell even willingly cast that vote when he voted against Hegseth? Because nobody saw that coming.
Brandon, I have a question for you.
What?
Do you think he saw, like, he was conscious of what he was doing?
I think it's entirely possible that he wasn't, because like we really haven't heard him say anything or make public appearances.
Do you think someone pushed him to not vote for him? Who like?
Well, he's part of the establishment.
No, but let's play scenarios.
Yeah.
All right. He wasn't fully there, and someone goes like, "Hey, Mitch, this is what we're gonna do." Who do you think that person is?
I think people like Pelosi, people like Obama, people like Clinton. I think they all talk to him.
So he will listen to them more than his party.
Well, keep in mind what those type of Republicans are. Like there's a group of Republicans that are there, like in place where they get to reap some benefits as long as they sit there and lose and pretend like they're trying to win. And like I in my opinion, that's what he was his entire career.
And now, Brandon, you brought up you know, Dianne Feinstein.
Yep.
This is a problem across the board, Brandon.
Old ass senators.
Yeah, no, but who in their right mind voted them? Like any voter that is voting consciously and did like a small reading, like probably 10 to 20 minutes. Anyone that looked him up on YouTube,
see what his results were.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, keep going on. I'm just looking up his results.
No, but how uninformed do you have to be to vote for someone that is clearly not there?
Well, it's a bizarre thing that happens, like especially in the Senate. Like the Senate's the coziest position out there. Like you get 6-year terms, and then if you have some name recognition, you're pretty much like a shoo-in unless you have some horrific scandal. Like even
So you think Feinstein and McConnell, they're shoo-ins?
Well, Feinstein's dead, but
they were.
They
both got voted in at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of these guys can stay in there until the day they die. Pretty much, it seems like. I'm trying to find like.
Do you think this has anything to do with voter integrity?
I think it has to do with voter intelligence and voter. So look at this freaking paywall. I just saw it said 57% for McConnell when he ran in the last election.
Was he opposed by another Republican?
That is a good question. Let's see.
Because maybe there's no one to oppose him.
Yeah, that's true. You have to get through the primary, and that's a difficult thing to do.
Tough one, Brandon.
Yeah. There's a whole book about this called the politics industry that talked about like the system, the way it's set up rewards you for being like as extreme as possible. So in the primaries, especially, like if you're in a red state, it's like pretty much if you win the primary, you win the state. So, you know, like you have to come in and like captivate the state to the degree to which you like have more name recognition than Mitch McConnell. And I'm sure he gets money from all sorts of places. Let's see. Man, why is it like more difficult than I thought to find just a freaking maybe here? Oh, here we go. What? Wow, look at this. This is the primary results. 82%.
That's a landslide, Brandon.
Yeah, so that's what you're freaking up against.
And who was the other guy?
In second place at 6%?
Yeah.
Wesley Morgan.
Can we know who the guy is?
He's an American businessman and politician from Kentucky. Let's see. Businessman, politician from Kentucky, member of the Republican Party, former member of Kentucky House of Reps, 81st District, House of Reps. 2016 buoyed strong local support for Trump. Morgan defeated Smart.
He was one of our guys.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I mean, has McConnell ever run a business? Like, because I have a lot more faith in somebody running a business and then getting into Congress and like being a little bit more competent than somebody who's just been a lifetime politician.
Well, we talked about this at length, Brandon. That you have to have a life that is worth going to Senate.
Right, like you've had to have like some victory somewhere.
Yeah, like I'm super against the usual, conveyor belt approach to it. It's like Congress, maybe governor, and then Senate, or maybe straight to Senate. I think that's not a career, or that's not the type of people we need.
No,
in the Senate.
No. You need to do something. Like even if it's like working in media, like working for I wouldn't even say like a think tank or something, like nothing in government before you go into government. You have to be outside of government before you go in there, and just like, because you're pretty much groomed to be a swamp creature if you start off in government right off the jump.
But this, Brandon, that's a really good term, groomed to be a swamp creature.
Yeah.
I know people, I'm not going to give any names, that they get groomed like straight out of college. They start by being staffers and here and there and this and that, and they go straight from high school to college, from college to staffer, from staffer to Congress, from Congress to Senate.
You're toasted.
And you're toasted. They had 60 years of swampiness.
Yeah. Imagine how difficult it would be to resist that. Like everybody's just like, oh yeah, it's so sweet. Like we got the lobbyists, like they'll come and they'll ask you what to do, and you just do it for them. Then they like flood your campaign with money, and then you could get on an oversight committee, and then what's happening before the rest of the world does. So you could like have your husband or wife or your kids like put like invest in certain things for you. Then you could pass legislation. Then you could get rich and make millions of dollars.
I mean, and what do you think about the jump from bartender to congresswoman?
It's not the best, but it's better than jumping from the swamp to Congress, to be totally honest.
It's confirmed Brandon is an AOC fan.
I'd hit it. Yeah. But no, it is. I think it is better to like literally come off the street, like from any job that's not government related, to go into Congress than to go, like you said, from that like pipeline. Yeah. Of going from getting indoctrinated in school to like being a staff or being an intern, blah, 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 then Brandon, right in it.
I will die on this hill. There's nothing more disgusting than staffers.
Really?
Oh, they're the worst people on the planet.
Why?
Because Hollywood people, Brandon, like those guys that don't make it.
Yeah.
And they go like, oh, I know this guy that did this movie, and I met this guy last week, and they're disgusting. They're parasites. They're like trying to leech to fame.
Ugh.
Like staffers, the same deal. Like it's just the ugly people that don't want to make it in Hollywood. They want to make it in DC. And they're the worst people.
I don't
have a single friend that is a staffer, and I will never have a staffer friend. That's it. I'm sorry. Kill me in the comments.
You know who's the worst of those people is like the people who volunteered for Obama's campaign. I feel like I've heard so many people say like, oh yeah, I volunteered for Obama in 2008.
Do you know people?
I've come across people, like a lot of people who have like thought it was the coolest thing ever that they volunteered for Obama in 2008. Like they changed the world or something.
Do you have anyone in your phone that we can call
that volunteered for Obama?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have to pre-plan this. Let me do some networking in between these two shows, and I'll see if I could track somebody down. we are on the hunt to try to bring liberals on, because like the liberals are kind of like, they were always shy to come on shows, but they're extra shy right now.
Yeah, if you have any liberal friends that will be up to the task, just Nick, Brandon, or myself, and we're gonna give you a finder's fee.
So just to put a bow on this, I'm trying to see how long McConnell's been in the Senate. Has it been since 1990? Is that what this says right here? Senate election, McConnell faced Mayor Sloan. Yeah, he won. Yeah, so McConnell's been in the Senate since the 1990s, since before I was born.
His first run, what was the run before 1990?
84.
84.
Jesus.
Woo!
What the hell did he do before this?
Nothing.
He just came straight from college.
Oh, man.
That's what Biden did, which is crazy. Like, imagine that Biden was in the Senate when he was my age. Like, you have to do some filthy shit to get in the Senate when you're 29.
So he volunteered?
McConnell?
Yeah.
Of course. There you go. The staffer.
Staffer, disgusting.
Oh.
They're the worst people. They're the worst people.
Imagine this stiff as a staffer.
Oh man. Oh man. Look at the mook. Look, there's a young picture of him.
Where?
Right there. 1985.
Come on, come up.
Load.
Do it.
Do it for the memes.
Oh, look, what is that haircut?
What is that haircut?
What's going on?
Wow.
Imagine if he still had the same glasses.
Do you think there's any like Mitch McConnell fans?
I mean, yeah, lobbyists.
No, but you think there's someone?
I mean, there has to be if he gets 82% of the vote in the primary.
Why though?
Honestly, because 80% of people in the world are a simulation.
80% of people there are simulation.
I'm sorry, yeah.
They just vote this guy.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm of the belief that, like, I mean, simulations that could be swapped out for different words, but
NPC.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like in my opinion, it's not like you're permanently in that position, but like I think 80% of the population operates in the state of being an NPC, like just going through the motions, like okay, voting day, okay, I recognize the name McConnell, I don't recognize the other name, boop, McConnell. Like I think that's 80% of the population. Like they know they're voting Republican, they recognize one name, don't recognize the other name, so that's how we get these 35-year Senate people.
I think people that go from staffer to Senate,
poison.
They're poison. I think that's mostly what's wrong with this country, Brandon.
Well, yeah, well, like we have like probably 80%.
They're worse than ISIS.
Our senators.
No.
Well, I mean, they started ISIS, so yeah.
Well, people that go from staffer to Congress to Senate, and Senate, they're the worst.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's an reasonable amount of McConnell hate. I mean, to put a pin in it,
I can be here all night.
I know we could do a marathon about this, but I hope that some momentum gets around the concept of like him not being mentally fit to hold that seat, and somebody gets that spot. So
does he plan to run the next time, Brandon?
Does he? He probably does. I guarantee
Brandon,
he's going to run until the day he dies.
No, Brandon, come on. He can't run again.
Oh, he can't. Yes, he can. Look at Feinstein.
Call him. It's a wrap.
That's a case study.
It's a wrap. You can't be planning on running again. That's stupid.
Dude, Feinstein looked like a fossil. Like she was fossilized.
Man, could we find a video of him? Because I can't imagine him doing a campaign.
Well, like being all like youthful and full of energy back in the day.
I want to see what campaign he runs. Like there must be a YouTube video. Let me try to find it.
Let's see. Young Mitch McConnell campaigning. Oh, here we go. Let's see how much pep's in this
public affairs programming from the nation's capital and or a public service.
Old of a video it is.
C-SPAN created by cable.
This is dusty.
South African
Oh, look at this little whippersnapper.
Look at him.
Which grant the military and police broad powers to question and detain individuals.
Full sentence.
Since June 12, 1986, the government has acknowledged detaining close to 10,000 South Africans. Independent monitoring groups estimate more than 12,000 people have actually been detained.
He's been a senator since 10 years before I was born.
That is
I'm not okay with that.
Not okay with that.
All right. So your time's up, McConnell. Give it a rest. Hang it up. So next thing, totally bizarre. Did you see FEMA defied Trump?
Yes, they did, Brandon.
What do you make of that? So I'll pull it up, but they're saying allegedly, reportedly, whatever we want to say, that FEMA sent $59 million to house immigrants in luxury hotels in New York, like after Trump got into office.
Yeah.
So straight up defying the president.
Brandon, they never saw this coming.
Who? The FEMA?
All of them.
Yeah. Well, did you see there's a video too out there of like a lady justifying skipping the houses of Trump voters, saying that like it was they felt unsafe going to Trump houses.
Oh, we showed the text messages in the show, Brandon.
Yeah. So I mean, like people are saying like, oh, these people need to be fired. Like, no, they should be put in jail. So Elon Musk claims FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury New York City hotels for illegal migrants, but City Hall says there's more to the story. Oh, let's see what's more to the story. So the world's richest man on early morning X post said funds were just discovered by his Department of Government Efficiency, even as President Trump called for the complete overhaul of FEMA. Could even see it shuttered. Trump last month signed an executive order to create a council to review FEMA as he expressed concerns over serious concerns, blah, blah, blah. Musk threat could put Mayor Adams in an awkward position. All right, where's the more to the story part? The money is meant for American disaster relief and instead is being spent on high-end hotels for illegals, Musk continued. Here we go. City Hall told the Post that no one has reached out to action on Musk's demand. They also issued a statement refuting Musk's assertions that carefully avoided naming mercurial billionaire or explicitly saying he was dead wrong. The hands-off approach to Musk coincided with Adams convening a meeting on his lap on his top commissioners to tell them to avoid criticizing Trump or to avoid putting billions in federal funds for the city at risk, the Post learned. Only 19 million of the 59 million that Musk highlighted in his tweet will go towards housing migrants in hotels, officials say. So that's the more of the story, that like, no, it's not 59, it's only 19. We've already spent over 7 billion on the crisis loan, and the previous administration committed to 237 million in funding. Jeez.
I find this so funny, Brandon. Like,
I'm so desensitized to these numbers.
They don't even know. I saw this video yesterday. It was a lady that had a cleaning business, meaning that she had a business of her cleaning stuff.
Yeah, right.
And she was so angry when this number started coming out. And she said it like, these people, it's just 5 million, it's just 10 million, it's like 6 million here. And she goes like, the $20,000 you're taxing me each year is the difference between eating, not eating, getting a car, not getting a car, going to a doctor, not going to a doctor.
Yeah.
So this cop-outs are ridiculous.
Dude, they're throwing it around like it's garbage. And like it's truly unfortunate, like the degree to which we've been desensitized to these numbers. Because I mean, like COVID broke everybody's minds. Like the TARP program in 2008 broke everybody's minds. Like, remember how shocked everybody was at 700 billion in 2008? Like that was an ungodly amount of money for the government to print and stick out into the economy. Then COVID, what it was like, at first it was like 3 trillion for the first one, then it was ended up being like 6 trillion. So now when you hear $1 million here, a couple 100,000 there, a couple billion there, like, it's people are just so desensitized to it that like it doesn't hit.
Man, it's a lot of money, and people are getting angry. They're getting super angry.
I can't believe there's still people out there that are trying to like get mad at Musk saying that he's going to look at our social security numbers and stuff. Like a judge freaking had the audacity to block what he's doing the other day. Like here, I'll pull up a tweet from Charlie Kirk because he kind of outlined it pretty good. But like, there's still people like fighting against this, trying to make it like it's a bad thing. Like not swamp creatures, but real people.
Did you see a girl, Kristi Noem?
Kristi Noem.
Yeah.
Do what?
Well, she's Homeland Security.
Oh, the Ice Barbie. Yeah.
Okay, Brandon, listen. She's Homeland Security, and today, a few hours ago, she backed Trump's idea of getting rid of FEMA altogether.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, why do we need FEMA? Like he made a good point. Like, why do we have a federal centralized system to like go to an unfamiliar place and like react to it instead of having like small decentralized like FEMA spots in like big populated areas? Like there should be maybe 15 like mini FEMAs like spread out around the country. like in regions.
Can you pull up a picture of Kristi Noem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's Barbie, but she's wonderful.
Who's hotter, her or Bobert?
Come on, that's like choosing between your children.
I know.
The
Whoa, look at that one. She's jacked. Oh my god, look at her shoulders.
No, come on. And still there, you can see if you scroll down the fourth picture on the fourth row, you can see her hugging Trump there. Oh man, I know.
Wow. Oh my god.
Brad,
She is shredded.
she is stacked.
Wow, that's that farmer strength.
Yeah.
And then look at her there.
I spy Barbie for the win.
Role play. Wait, how old is she? Is she like 60?
No, I think she's younger.
Man, we got so sidetracked right here. 53.
53. She looks great.
She married?
Why?
I'm just wondering, just for pure curiosity.
I think she
has to be.
She
Yeah, she has a lot of kids. Okay, she's got to be married. Doesn't list her husband on Wikipedia. Man, we are getting so sidetracked.
We are getting no, but when I made the point about her, it was on
Byron Noem. Brian Noem. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's important to have her side with Trump for the complete closure of the agency.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Stud certified.
Yep. All right. Anyway, so
no homo.
So where were we? We were saying how Charlie Kirk's tweet. No, but like I keep saying, like, imagine what she's willing to do if she was willing to shoot her dog for invading the homeland of her neighbor.
She's gonna close at FEMA. Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, it's not gonna end there.
Over under. You think FEMA's getting
axed? Yeah, it'll get taken away. I mean, especially after this. Like, I mean, imagine how pissed Trump's gonna be after he sees this, that they defied him like that.
And how they handle all the disasters last year, Brandon. Remember the what's the name of the hurricane?
There was a lot. What was there? Oh, Milton the Monster Milton.
Yeah, it was Milton. And
remember how excited the weather guys were?
Yeah, they were super excited. Those saddest.
And they're in depression now.
But it was a shame, Brandon. It was a shame how they handled the situation. While they were sending the metric tons of cash to Ukraine and to Israel.
But not just there, to freaking like every country pretty much. They gave more money.
Uganda and South
gender
Africa
studies,
and gender
the
studies
plays
in Afghanistan and Sesame Street in Iraq. Yeah, they need to get their priorities straight.
So, I mean, speaking of trying to get our priorities straight, like this is unbelievable. So, you know, Elon working for free, sleeping at the freaking government Eisenhower building, trying to, you know, do it like this is like as much of a service to the people as you could get, like literally taking time away from his businesses that make billions of dollars and then like auditing the federal budget. So New York judge Paul Engelmayer just forbade all political appointees, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, from accessing Department of Treasury data based on Blue Anon conspiracy theories. Those this is from Charlie Kirk. Those theories couldn't be challenged because the order was ex parte, meaning Trump's lawyers weren't warned and couldn't weigh in. Only Democrat attorneys were allowed to argue. The judge cites no law or logic to support the unprecedented order because it defies both. The judge's ruling is, in essence, that Scott Bessent is simply occupies a ceremonial position without real power, like the King of England. This is a grenade thrown into the functioning of the Treasury Department. It forbids the elected government from accessing.
What do you call Spanish there, Ben? The Granada.
I was trying to get extra. Granada. It forbids the elected government from accessing information about budget and finances. Instead, only the permanent deep state government can know what's being spent. It means Bessent's subordinates have far more power than Scott Bessent does. Democrat pundits who whine about the Constitution are liars and will shred it in the first chance they get. For now, the order is only for the next week, but if a court tries to make it permanent, the Trump administration should absolutely consider defying it. Better yet, SCOTUS should bar this judge from ever hearing similar cases again, and every Democrat lawyer involved should be sanctioned. So, I mean, they should be able to, nice, 33 mil views. They should be able to appeal this and get it, you know, thrown out pretty quickly. Seems like a totally unreasonable thing.
Well, these people, they've never been reasonable, Brandon.
I know. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Idiot me.
I mean, It might get thrown out. I'm not a lawyer, but
Well, that's usually what happens when you disagree with something. You appeal it, it goes to an appellate court.
But now the bigger point, Brandon, is what happens when they get access to it. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a huge one.
I think they either run for the hills or freaking try to like take down the power grid or like make something happen.
Take down the power grid.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if
it's 0 to 100. That's it.
Oh, like I think they'll try to hit the kill switch. Like, imagine if you're guarding the scariest information ever about you. Like, you've been just like wasting the money of like every single person in the country. Like, what they see back there is gonna like make them furious. Like, want to just rip you apart. That's how I think they're feeling.
I don't disagree. Like, this will open the mother of all the cans of worms.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll play this guy Raskin. So he's one of the Beltway bandits that they call it. So his district just gets pumped with NGO money. So
we're talking about this, Brandon.
This guy, the bandits.
Yeah.
So my boy, Dr. Waller came on and enlightened me about that the other day. But so here, I'll play this. Then I keep talking about like I'm so interested in like the fraud in the Social Security and the fraud in Medicare and the defense. But here, I'll play this quick.
What I'm thinking about and talking to, my friends at Democracy Defenders and other lawyers about is, could there be a nationwide class action lawsuit to follow up on last week's victories?
Right.
Against Musk, against the Trump administration for this breach in computer security and the data of all American taxpayers. It could be a class action suit on behalf of all Americans. If the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers want to opt out and they don't want their part of the money for the contamination of their data, fine, they can opt out. But really, it's a suit on behalf of everybody because that's our information.
Right.
It doesn't belong to Elon Musk or his little midnight crew. It belongs to the people. And
yeah, Jamie, you know what else belongs to us? The money that you're spending on bullshit that nobody voted for, that we want to know what you spent it on now. Like, we're not like, how many people probably have all of our Social Security numbers? Like, like there's literally like apps dedicated to warning people when their Social Security number gets out there. Like, and you need that shit for everything. Like, so I'm not quite as worried about that as like the future of our society and being able to like afford basic things. Like, we have no idea where $36 trillion went. We're starting to get enlightened about it. We're already shocked by seeing less than 1% of where it went. So we want to know where the rest of it went, Jamie. Like, why are you so nervous about that?
Raskin.
What a name.
No, it's the worst of the worst. It's the slimiest, dirtiest, number one spin doctor in the Democratic Party. Like, you gotta give the guy credit. He comes up with all this legal fiction, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
To like spin things around. Like, he's going like, oh yeah, that's your data and whatever. Let's see it then.
Yeah.
Let's see it then.
Like, the way he's trying to flip this and contort it is hilarious. Like, he wants us to worry about like our Social Security number when we're like, our Social Security number doesn't mean anything if there's no money left.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything if there's no money there.
No.
But no, absolutely.
It's insane. So out of I'd say there's a big 3 or big 4 that need to be audited. There's the Pentagon, there's the Fed, there's the Treasury, there's healthcare, Social Security. Which one are you most excited about? Which one do you want to like? Do you think is the juiciest?
Oh, health. It's not even close. It's not even close, Brandon.
Let's see. Let me pull up the budget quick.
Oh yeah, it's not even close. Foreign aid is not even 5% of the budget.
No.
And I think military spending and healthcare spending, one is close second to the other one. And the
health is double.
Double?
Yeah.
All right. So it'd be health and then military spending.
Yeah. Social Security is up there too.
So is Social Security first?
The way they measure it's strange. So here, look. Here we go. So health insurance is number 1 on this one.
All right.
Coming in hot at what is it? 800 and where we got
This is a time that a graph will be beautiful, Brandon.
You know what's funny is what we got something.
All right, there it is.
Yep. So health insurance number 1 at 24%. That's crazy.
So much fraud. So much fraud.
So that's 24% of 7 trillion.
All right.
What's that like? So 25% of 8 trillion would be what? 2.7. So this is about $2 trillion that goes straight to health insurance. That sounds about right. The health
1.6 trillion.
1. Boom, there you go. That's exactly the number. And then Social Security, which is both welfare and like retirement stuff, 21%. Then defense, which everybody thinks is the most at a first glance, it's 13%. Then the interest on the debt is at 13%.
That is disgusting.
Repulsive.
This is feral.
And there's a lot of fraud I'm hearing in this too, like with the benefits for veterans and
Brandon, they get treated like shit.
They do. But people talk shit about this program, like saying like, oh, like, you know, it's too much money to go to them. Like, no, there's a lot of fraud in this one too, like where people who have nothing to do with the program like claim the benefits and stuff.
If we weren't this much debt, maybe we can give them 13%.
Yeah. But here, I'm gonna pull up the
what is this chart from? 2022?
24.
24?
Yep, it's a new one.
I think because I think it got worse.
With what?
The interest on debt.
It surpassed defense for the first time. So like it's probably like 13.1 and the defense is 13 flat or something. I
remember it got worse around November last year.
I remember it fluctuates with like what the interest rate is. So the interest rates come down like 0.5% since they made that announcement. So let's see. Budget deficit spending. This is crazy too. So this chart really shows where we got like off the rails. Where's the good one? Statista. Oh, here we go. So tell me what you notice here. So this is years with surplus, years with deficit.
Fred is my friend, Brandon. I love Fred. Do you love Fred?
I don't love this Fred. This is the Federal Reserve. So see this black line right here?
Yep.
That's where we're breaking even. For above the black line, that means we're a surplus. We have extra money at the end of the year, like when you save a little money from your job, right?
Year 2000.
But when you go into credit card debt, you know, when times get tough, this is what that is when it's under the black line. And so what does this chart say to you? It says a few things, but like if it was able to speak, what would this picture say?
It will scream 9/11.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's one. War on terrorism.
War on terrorism.
Yep, that's a couple trill.
Fight for freedom so we can buy more stuff.
But where did it all start going bad though? Come on, it's in there. It's like I Spy in the chat. In the chat, right. What do you see in the chat?
Right.
Where did it go bad?
I think
where did it go bad?
Is Hussein Obama?
Come on, you guys could get it.
Is that Obama?
No. Really look at it. Do I have to zoom? I can't zoom in anymore without blocking stuff out.
Oh man!
Like we were on the line for a long time.
I know that year, Brandon.
Which one?
It's around 1970s when something very important happened.
Yeah.
All right. Does it have anything to do with gold?
It sure does.
All right. I know what it is, Brandon.
Yeah. So right after that, you get some Vietnam action right here, and then tax cuts, George Bush, Soviet Union stuff. Then this is a weird one. I've never really done a deep dive in why we had a surplus under Clinton out of everybody. I think it might just be because of the tech boom, because like the economy was just ripping at that time.
Right at the year 2000, you had the
dot-com
bubble.
So maybe just the economy was so good.
And then if you move forward to the next peak that we got close to being out of debt,
housing bubble.
Right before the housing bubble, Brandon.
Yep. And then it just goes to shit during COVID, 3 trillion. But yeah, so I would like to see exactly where all of this went, because like people talk about inflation, they talk about interest rates, they talk about quantitative easing, but this is a big part of inflation too, like the deficit spending. And I'd be interested to see. I was talking with Tom about this the other day, that like we probably have been propping up the economy like in a super false way for like a long time, like with all this deficit spending, because like this is like even more powerful than the whole interest rate thing. And speaking of interest rates, very important thing. So not to get too crazy here, but you remember hearing about the thing called the yen carry trade?
No idea.
I hope I don't lose every single person here with this, but this is possibly the most important thing in the economy right now. So you know how it's a big deal if we have 0% rates like how we did during COVID, or if we have like 5% rates like we do now, it's a big deal. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So what's been happening for like the last 20 years is that people have been borrowing money, like big people have been borrowing money in yen and then converting it to dollars.
I know about this, Brendan.
Yeah. So they've been like skirting around our interest rates using Japan interest rates for the last 20 years. And now Japan's interest rates are finally going up. So this is going to like be a mountain moving thing. So here, let's see. Yeah, look at this. They're at 0.5%, which is insane for them. So let's see. If I go to, yeah, it's the highest it's been in like 10 years. And then, you know, they tried this a little bit in 2007, failed right away. They brought it down after, like, Japan's economy got obliterated in the 90s. Like, you remember the Asian bubble?
Yeah.
So the fact that this is happening right now.
That was 2008, right?
The Asian bubble.
Or 98.
In the 90s, yeah. Like, so their economy was going crazy in the 90s, and then it just fell apart. But so the fact that this is happening right now, this is going to screw a lot of things up, because people have been wondering why hasn't the 5% rates done anything to our stock market. So we jacked it up so quickly, because a lot of these big people have been borrowing in yen and converting it to dollars, and then investing in like with 0% rates effectively. But now they're getting like their stuff's going to get all screwed up because of this, because like they borrowed anticipating that rates would be at zero forever in Japan, because Japan's economy is so screwed up and delicate that, you know, you would think that they thought that they would never be able to do this, but their inflation's getting crazy, so they have to.
Well,
all right, I made that fast.
Hey, all right, you made it really fast.
Yeah.
But that's interesting, Brandon. I was doing a little bit more research on the Clinton surplus.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a mix of things: economic growth,
yeah,
tax increases. He had an omnibus budget reconciliation act of 1993. Then you had spending cuts. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You have welfare reform. And then you have the Budget Enforcement Act of 1990 setting caps on discretionary spending.
Oh, interesting. Let me guess, did that get repealed very quickly eventually?
Yeah, that's in a few years.
They probably hated that.
All-time low unemployment. You had all-time high capital gains, the dot-com bubble, and in general, the global economic conditions at the time.
Yeah, I think I would give the most weight to how strong the economy was at the time, probably.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things, Brandon.
So, you want to see some creepy stuff?
Yeah, let's see some creepy stuff. But if it's economic creepy stuff, I'm out. Oh, I'm out.
Well, hear me out.
Oh, wow. How, man, you're going to show me a creepy graph?
No. So there's a war brewing. I keep talking about this war that's brewing. I said to you, who do you want to know the most about? Fed, healthcare, Pentagon, Treasury, whatever. You said healthcare. I get it. That's the biggest one. But this one's actually bigger, because you know what the Fed's balance sheet is? Fed's balance sheet's like $8 trillion of money that we owe them, technically. We owe the Fed.
Oh.
Did you see this already?
Okay, this is very creepy. This is very, very okay. You're right, Brandon. This economic and creepy at the same time.
Best of both worlds. Don't threaten me with a good time.
This video is worth watching.
Yeah.
Pay attention at home.
So this is 2009. Ben Bernanke being asked, where did the $500 billion go?
Who got the money?
To financial institutions in Europe and other countries.
Which ones?
I don't know.
$500 billion, and you don't know who got the money?
The loan went to the loans go to the central banks, and they then put them out to their institutions to try to bring down short-term interest rates in dollar markets around the world.
Well, let's start with which central banks got the money.
There are 14 of them, which are listed in our. I'm sure they're listed in here somewhere.
Very nervous.
All right. So who actually made that decision to hand out $1 trillion that way? $500 billion. Who made that decision?
The Federal Open Market Committee.
Okay. And was it done at one time or in a series of meetings?
A series of meetings.
And under what legal authority?
We have a long-standing legal authority to do swaps with other central banks.
Do you happen to know anything?
It's not an emergency authority of any kind.
Anything specific about it?
Do you know my counsel says Section 14 of the Federal Reserve Act.
That's spooky stuff right there. So I don't believe that they did always have the authority to do that. Like I do remember seeing that the swap lines were created in 2008 because they needed to get dollars to the rest of the world. But I mean, still, like, yeah, I can't say where that went. That's super creepy. And I mean, like I said, I mean, I know I sound like a broken record now. I swear to God, I am like meticulously putting this episode together about like I'm just trying to freaking nail it about what's going on with the Fed because it like pieces together perfectly with my series that I'm making. But like with the way the Fed got started, the degree to which like they act arrogant, like we have no right to know what they're doing. Like I have another video here from the maestro. You ever heard of the maestro before?
Nope.
They called this guy the maestro because of the degree to which he tried to micromanage the market. This is the longest serving Federal Reserve chairman ever. Alan Greenspan.
Relationship. What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. So long as that is in place and there is no evidence that the administration or the Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things other than what we think is the appropriate thing, then what the relationships are don't frankly matter. And I've had very good relationships with presidents.
This is in honor of Alan Satoshi Greenspan, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Brandon, what I'm going to say right now, you're going to hate it.
Okay. Let's hear it.
This is bigger than MAGA.
Yeah.
And I think this one thing that Trump wouldn't even get close.
He hasn't. He's been dancing around the line.
And I don't think it's going to solve this. Like,
well, he hasn't uttered the words at the end of the Fed once.
No, if you want the Trump presidency to go down in history, out of all the things that need to be controlled, would be this.
Well, yeah, this is the reason that we are able to go into debt the way that we did. Like so I mean, guys, like go watch the playlist I have of The Men Who Broke America. Like I'm trying to meticulously outline how we got to where we are, how we got to 36 trillion. But basically, we've had 3 central banks before. You know, the first 2, I outlined them in those episodes. They were started by European bankers, mainly the Rothschilds, ended terribly both times. Like bad inflation, like we fought like hell to get rid of them. And then Trump always says this too, like the most prosperous time in American history was 1870 until 1913. That was like the Industrial Revolution, like where all the great companies were built and everything. We were prosperous, low debt, everything. Then in 1907, they orchestrate this fake stock market crash that was totally not organic. And then as a result of that, they start advocating like, yeah, we need a federal safety net. We need a federal safety net so this could never happen again. Like we can't have runs on the banks like this. And then that bitch ass Woodrow Wilson like starts advocating for it. They start having the Ivy League schools advocate for it. So they like force in the Federal Reserve and the IRS in the same year in 1913. And then just coincidentally, the next year World War I happens, like where we wouldn't have been able to pay for World War I if that hadn't happened. So yeah, this is like the thing that funds everything. This is like the thing that gives us the ability to, not be anchored to anything. This and the gold standard specifically.
But I don't think, because you give Trump a pass about a lot of things.
Because I mean, he's doing more than I ever imagined a president would, aside from myself.
But I don't think he's going to get anywhere near this.
I like the things he's saying about the Fed, but
that people said things before. Actually, need to be. Do you hear Greenspan,
that arrogant prick,
talking about the number one guy elected by the American people?
Yeah,
like how dismissive he is.
Yeah, well, like I mean, it's like, what do they know? Like, what conversations do they have behind the scenes where they could have that level of entitlement? Because Congress is supposed to be their boss. And you remember there's a there's a clip out there of Jerome Powell getting asked, like, would you step down if Trump asked you to step down? He's like, nope. They're like, what if he like strongly insists on it? He's like, no legal standing. He's like, they're like, huh? He's like, there's no legal standing saying the president has any authority over me.
I think this is the roof of everything.
The Fed?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the top level.
It's a top level.
And then the people behind the Fed that own the Fed, like that's really the top level, which like, you know who I think that is, because the 13 or what was it, whatever number of people it was, like 8 people or something, the ones that got together, Jekyll Island, started the Fed, like they were all representatives for one family, the same family that started the first 2 central banks. Like, I mean, I don't know to what degree that family is still intact, to what degree they're still like calling shots, but like I think there's a strong chance that the majority of our national debt is owed to a few families that are behind the Fed.
I don't like this, Brandon. I don't like this at all. I don't like people talking down to the American president like that. I feel uncomfortable.
Especially the people who make money, who like create the money.
It doesn't feel democratic. It doesn't feel fair to the American people. I'm no communist, but I don't like this at all.
Well, dude, speaking of communism, like I can't think of a thing that's more communist than like a committee of people getting together every month and deciding what the price of money is. Like we're supposed to let the market decide what the price of things are. And we're letting a group of people get together once a month and say like, I think this should be the price of money this month because I feel that way. Like who's telling them to make those decisions? Like we never hear about that.
I'm huge on free market economy. I think the market is an entity that reflects the desires, fears, and dreams of everyone on the planet, and that does a really good job at it. So this market meddling that those guys do makes me very uncomfortable. Uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, like they could add or reduce the amount of money in the economy. That's a superpower. So this is the Fed balance sheet that I always talk about. This means the amount of mortgage-backed security bonds and U.S. Treasury bonds that they own. Like the guy said, like Bernanke said in the video, they sent the $500 billion over to Europe or other places around the world to keep the interest rates low in the bonds because that makes conditions easier for everybody. So that's what this is. They bought a bunch of bonds in 2008 to ease conditions, to lower the rate, to like kind of grease the economy. And then, funny enough, when Trump gets in, they start quantitative tightening, which is when this goes down. And then, it goes way up during COVID, then going down now. So everybody's confused. Why are rates going down, but the mortgages are still going up? Because the Fed still owns mortgages and they're selling them off. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So the more like if they just sold off all their mortgages and all their bonds, like the rates would go up like crazy.
Yeah. This is really something to think about, Brandon.
Yeah. And look at that number's $9 trillion that peaked at.
You think they're going to keep on dropping it?
Yeah, that's their plan. They've been dropping it since 2022, and they did a quick little uptick when that bank crisis happened in 2023. But yeah, they've been steadily going down.
That bank crisis went very under the radar.
Well, JP Morgan wins again. They got to buy the thing for pennies on the dollar.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So we're at 1 hour right now. Should we keep it tight? I mean, there's a lot of stories to talk about, but I don't know. Should we talk about Trump with the Hamas thing quick? What he said about Hamas?
If you want to talk about it.
So he pretty much came out and said that if Hamas doesn't return all the terrorists by this weekend,
return all the hostages,
right? Exactly. Yes. Classic mix-up. So if Hamas does not release all the hostages by this weekend, that the peace deal's off. So what do you think about it? You think that's a smart tactic?
I don't know anything about the Middle East, Brandon.
No,
I'm 100% locked in America.
All right, so just like as a man of psychology, do you think this is a good tactic? Here, I'll play the clip.
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that because that's Israel's decision. But as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday. And if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2, Saturday at 12 o'clock. And after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let.
High stakes.
I don't know what he's saying, Brandon.
He's saying, like, so that, there's a peace deal in place, and he's saying that if the hostages are not released, that, like, he's gonna, I guess, give the green light to Israel to start firing off on them. I mean, it sounds like it just a threat. Because I mean, you think they're gonna call his bluff? Would you call their bluff if he was Hamas? Would you call his bluff if you were Hamas?
How many of those hostages are American?
I don't think too many, but I don't know. Let's see. How can we find that? Ask Grok. How many of the hostages Hamas as are American? Grockety grok. I'm sorry, but the information available does not provide definitive to the Americans currently held by. However, based on the recent data, it's reported that 7 U.S. citizens were among the nearly 100 hostages still in Gaza held. All right, so there's some.
How many?
7
out of 100.
Yep.
All right. I'm Team America. If there's one American there,
right,
all bets are off.
Yeah. So I mean, my prediction, I think the hostages are going to come back before the Saturday. Don't you?
I say again, I don't get involved in this stuff because I'm not Palestinian, I'm not Israeli, and I'm having fun here while Elon Musk is cutting, government spending. I love the Gulf of America thing. I love how good Florida is. I love everything that he's doing here. I'm mostly for peace, mostly to leaving everyone through their own devices. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a valid opinion here because I'm seriously,
Okay, he got nervous. We'll move on.
No, I didn't get nervous, but this is a no-win situation.
I know.
Like if you support one side, you're a fucking criminal. If you support the other side, you're like so. And what is my opinion has to do with it? Like nothing's gonna happen.
No, just for prediction. My prediction is that they're gonna get released before Saturday.
You think they're gonna get released before Saturday?
Yeah.
All right.
Like, how do you call that bluff? Like, what's the upside in calling that bluff?
What do you think is gonna happen if they don't get released before Saturday?
I think some aggressive bombs will go off.
From us?
No, that like we give Israel the blessing to do it. But I don't think he'll get there. I think he makes these crazy threats to get the results he wants. But anyway, did you see what he said about JD Vance being his successor?
Did he claim it already?
So you didn't see this?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so tell me how you process this.
Okay.
I thought it was an interesting answer.
All right.
Do you view Vice President J.D. Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that I think you have a lot of very capable people. So far, I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's too early. We're just starting.
But by the time you get to the midterms, he's going to be looking for an endorsement.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that this has been the greatest opening, almost 3 weeks, in the history of the presidency.
It's definitely been the fastest and the most stuff
Well,
happening.
we've done so much so fast, and we really had to because they have really, what they've done to our country is so sad. It's so sad. We're going to be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before.
So how do you process that? I thought that was interesting.
Did it too early? That's a stupid question. Who's that guy?
Brett Baer. I'll never forgive him, by the way.
Yeah, I will never forgive that guy.
Nope. I remember he was the one who called Arizona super early in 2020.
Yeah, he did. Nah, I mean, stupid question, stupid answers, Brandon. That's my take on it. All right.
Yeah.
It would be a huge mistake to start making, because once Trump announces that JD is up next, that's putting an unnecessary target on his back.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's also enabling behavior from JD, who's doing a great job.
He is.
He's enabling behavior from JD to start his campaign after the midterms. Trump has a mandate that lasts 4 years, and I don't want to hear about anything. That's why I skipped the last subject. I don't want to hear about anything else I don't want to hear about it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Until they fix America.
Agreed.
I don't want to hear about campaigns. I don't want to hear about the Swahili. I don't want to hear about, whatever it is,
Yeah.
So that's my take.
No, you're right. I mean, it was a snaky question for Brett Baer to ask. Like, you're supposed to, we've had 8 years of like every mainstream media outlet trying to do the gotcha question on Trump. Like, Brett, you can't just give him a good interview where you make him look good. I mean, seriously?
Yeah. I think it's a Botox. I think it.
His face is like straight plastic.
Yeah, but we shouldn't talk too much shit about it.
I know. Anyway, to end on a light note, your boys in Germany, they thought that it was too dangerous to break a bottle off the side of a boat as part of the ceremony, so they built a contraption to do it. Did you see this yet?
No.
Is that not the stupidest thing you've ever seen in your life?
Germany's cooked.
Like, what?
Auf Wiedersehen, Deutschland. It's
I thought they're supposed to be great at building things.
What they used to be. They used to be great at building things, Brandon.
Like, they're afraid to break the bottle off the side of the boat. They built the whole machine just for the sole purpose of breaking bottles. He can't do it, then it falls out. Like, it looks more dangerous what he's doing than like just simply breaking the bottle.
Well,
he looks like an imbecile.
What an imbecile! This is embarrassing. The German engineering.
Look at the stupid smile on her face.
It was sought after in the whole world. German engineering. Like, if you're gonna do this thing, because if it worked, I'd be like, oh, that's just Germans overcomplicating things to boast about the engineering skills. Yeah. But this is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. Like, I don't know. How is this a lighter note? Now I'm mad.
Like, this thing, like, how did they not test it? Is that like a stronger bottle than they thought? And look, they even got a rope on the bottle. Like, I mean, this should work on the first try with low effort. Like, there's a rod right there to like just hit the middle of the thing.
He looks like a Tim Wallstepper guy. All right.
Could you imagine Trump doing this? Like, I think like Trump would take the thing out of there and smash it over the rail in defiance, and then everybody would cheer.
Yeah, this is embarrassing.
I wouldn't take one hack at that.
Germany is done. The country's cooked.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, maybe that other party will win.
What, the FD?
Yeah, would that be a good thing?
Not good enough, but better.
Okay.
Nothing, Brandon. You know my theme. Nothing is good enough ever.
I know. High standards. Well, this is a good, efficient show here. We're at about
great show.
Yeah,
great show,
guys. Hit that like button. We love you, Humberto. It's been a while. It's good to have you back on.
Lovely to be here. They were talking shit in the chat that I'm looking away, but people don't know our setup. Like, I'm actually facing him, so I try to. It's natural to look at him.
Yeah.
But thank you for that German closing. Was it a dig on me? Were you saving that video?
I came across it. I saved it earlier, and I forgot it was
just
there.
To make fun of me. You invite me to your show just to make
get you riled up.
Get me riled up. I want to go to bed now. I'm mad.
You'd be cursing them out.
Oh man.
I know. Well, we've all had our ups and downs, and their downs right now. So, on that note, America's on its ups, and I think we'll have a lot of good stuff.
We didn't say anything about the Super Bowl, Brandon.
I mean, what is there to say?
You hated it.
I loved hanging out with everybody, but the game was brutal. The halftime show was terrible. Oh, you know what? Actually, I have a great video to show here. You want to see what a halftime show should look like? I'm glad you brought this up.
Thank you.
You want to see what a halftime show should look
All
like?
Right. Surprise me.
Now, this is freaking cool. Where is it? Oh, I know where it is. Just 1 second. This is going to blow your mind. Ready? So this is before I was born. You might have been born here.
Ahead of time, Michael called me at my house at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, I want to determine when the show starts. I have a concept for the beginning. And the cue was, I'm going to reach up and take my glasses off. And that's when you prepare to roll the trap.
This is a performance.
When he gets on the stage, he's like a general. He takes control. He takes command.
Michael, he always said, like, make them wait for it, you know? You got to marinate in it. You got to sit with it. So everybody, you build anticipation. And that's what he did.
He waited a minute.
When you're directing this, I mean, every second is like an eternity. And I start to just shout, Michael, damn it, take your glasses off.
Take 5. Come on, Michael, do it. Stand by, VT Baker.
Here we go. He can't hear me. I'm just losing it.
Come on, Michael, do it, baby.
I'm kind of just shouting into my headset. All the camera guys can hear me.
Come on, Michael.
But that was the deal that I had made with him, and I was not going to jump the queue.
Man, so what you want, but Michael was saying,
roll VT Baker. Right? Ready, shot 12 on 2. Number 2. Shot 12 on 2. A little bit tighter. Wolf.
How fired up would you be?
Ready, 2. Take. Shot 13 on 5 next. 3. Ready, 4.
How cool is that?
I'm gonna get yeeted if you keep on.
I know.
playing
How
Michael.
cool is that?
That is cool. I sent you another one.
I know. Do you think I could play that one without getting in trouble?
We can play a snippet.
All right.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I might have been just a Dallas Cowboy game, or it might have been.
No, that was a Super Bowl.
That was Super Bowl.
Yeah, they go all out like that. The Super Bowl, nowhere else.
They also go loud in Dallas.
Not like at like that at halftime. No. Normal halftime's like 10 minutes. I love this song.
Oh man.
Oh, let's go there.
Can you take me higher?
Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. That's America right there.
That is America right there.
Like flying through the stadium.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I need to go run or something.
Good old times.
Yeah.
Look,
so
I'm a
screw
huge
Henry.
Kendrick guy.
Not there.
You're not there.
Not like in that spot. Like yeah, sure. I'll listen to a Kendrick song sometimes, but like he was totally out of place last night.
I think to Good Kid, Mad City, to Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn are really good albums, but not there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it didn't fit. He was like it was the mumble rap, and then the
not there. I don't think Brandon. I don't think hip hop, being a huge hip hop head, I don't think hip hop translates well to a Super Bowl arena halftime show.
Save for the NBA.
Yeah, because that's a closed environment,
right?
You know?
Yeah, intimate.
Bass travels differently. Lyrics are important in hip hop. I think something that is more singing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You need to be like projecting, like rappers aren't projecting. They're just like,
yeah. So I think Creed will be great.
You know, Creed would be great every Super Bowl. Like if you have Creed come out and do Take Me Higher every Super Bowl, I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah, that's it. It's a tradition now.
Yeah.
You know, this is a weird take. I think Sabrina Carpenter would have killed the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Brandon, she would have killed it. She has a cute show.
Yeah, we want a cute show. We want a freaking heavy metal sick like America.
You want to keep your girlfriend engaged, Brandon.
And what, she advocates for that? I'm not really up to date on Sabrina Carpenter.
You're not up to date with Sabrina Carpenter?
I've heard the name before, but I don't know too much about her. Is she like based?
Well, no, I don't know if she's based. She's just a silly pop star. Like out of all the pop stars, she's the least satanic of them all.
Okay.
You know, she sings songs about drinking coffee and whatever. But I Metallica would be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be great. You know, the second half of the but I don't just Nickelback.
Oh yeah, Nickelback. I don't know why so many people hate Nickelback. I like Nickelback.
I like Nickelback.
Look at this photograph.
We started to lose audience. But can I tell you?
Oh, they all jumped off when I started singing.
Aerosmith will be good. AC/DC will be a good one.
Yeah.
But I have a. Let's make a bet, Brandon.
What, of who it's gonna be next year?
Huh?
Of who it's gonna be next year?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been happy with like a halftime show since the Janet Jackson thing ruined everything, because that was a pretty good halftime show, and then they started getting all square after that. Remember that?
Yeah, remember.
It should have been Kid Rock this year.
Core childhood memory what happened with Janet Jackson.
Yes,
First
I know.
time
I know. First live boob.
First live boob on TV. I was so excited.
Yeah.
Hey, I can make a bet right now that someone has the right idea in the chat. I think next year it should be modern country.
Is that the right type of energy though?
100%.
Yeah, it's better than rap. I think rock is first, then country, then rap.
I will
Like the
go. I will
lowest.
go full country. Jelly Roll, Morgan
Jelly
Wallen.
Roll.
I like him.
I have to get acquainted.
Luke Combs. You know that type of vibe.
Mm.
See, the chat is agreeing with me.
Okay. Oh, Court, you're back. I haven't seen Court in a while. What's up?
Yeah, she's back, and
Must have been my singing.
I think a country rock mix.
My
for the
singing
Super Bowl.
travels 1,000 miles.
But a country rock vibe, ZZ Top, that type of like badass country rock. That's what we need. You know where the next Super Bowl is at?
You know who they should have Bradley Cooper.
Oh, 1,000%.
Bradley Cooper is better than most actual singers
By the way, everyone in the chat, that's Brandon's favorite musician
to practice singing.
No, it's your favorite musician overall.
Tell me something, girl. All right, and that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Carrie Underwood would do great at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, she would. I mean, she did the Sunday Night Football for all that time.
Yeah, you didn't like it?
Sunday Night Football on NBC. Or I'm singing too
Brad
much.
Paisley. I don't know. But that's just an idea. We have nothing to do with the organization of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but if enough people get on board with it, then we can have an impact, just like Congress. All right, guys, awesome show. Humberto, thanks for being with us. Love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow night. Well, I will. Maybe Humberto will. I don't know if he had enough fun or not tonight. He might be back to Call of Duty.
All right. Just business days.
If he's not here, you know what happened.
Yeah, got a hold of me again.
Yep, we'll do that. All right. Love you guys. Good night. You know, we talk about the deep state. We talk about the globalists. Inflation versus deflation. Well, I mean, here at Mar-a-Lago.
I'm baffled that this isn't front page news.
Do you guys support a specific political party, or do you dislike both of them?
Oh, it worked like a charm on you guys.
Let's go, Brandon.